Hello everyone, my name is Tyler and welcome to today's video. I got a new little perspective here that I thought of and I'm going to share it with you. But first, have you ever had an interaction with someone and their energy just brightened up your day? What if you could be that person for everybody? Imagine how much better the world would be if we all sought to be this way. Today, I invite you to hear me out on a new perspective for your life going forward. I call it being the light in someone's day. So, between the busy rise and grind of modern life, and of course the zeitgeist of rugged individualism, we often forget to think of others. And if we do, we tend to only consider our closest loved ones, which obviously that's great, right? But what if we brought that same energy towards even somebody like just the cashier at our grocery store? So this idea for this topic, it came to me recently when I was visiting my hometown. Lately, I've been living in the big city and switching back to my little bit smaller hometown. I honestly forgot how much life outside the city, how much slower it is. This change in pace really allowed me to relax, slow down, and honestly engage with people a bit more than I usually would. Anyways, so I'm at the store in my hometown and I'm in line to check out, and I could tell that the cashier there was just not feeling it at all. This guy looked super unhappy, and it was at Publix. I've never seen a worker at Publix look unhappy. I thought I was at Chipotle or something. Those guys always look super depressed. I don't know what's going on, but I was at Publix and this guy was down. But I decided that it was going to be my mission once the person in front of me was done checking out, it was going to be my mission to get this guy to crack a smile. So they got done checking out. I step up to the plate. It's my time to shine. And I just really nicely, heartily asked him how everything's going today. And, he kind of just gave me like the bland, generic, like, oh, good. How about you? And this was not the reciprocal energy that I was hoping for. But if it was hardball he wanted, it was hardball he would get. I was absolutely determined to get a smile out of this guy. So I asked him if he was watching the NBA playoffs. He responded yes, with a bit more enthusiasm, and mentioned he was a Lakers fan. Checkmate, I found the spark. It was basketball. So I proceeded to banter a bit more about the playoffs, and I playfully teased him about LeBald spot, LeBron James, and how the Lakers wouldn't make it out of the playoff tournament, play-in tournament, which I was right. But he lit up as we joked around, and he even shot back at me about me and my Celtics. And fast forward in the cashier, he handed me my receipt with a big smile on his face as we both bid each other farewell. He and I both ended that interaction feeling really positive energy and upbeat. All it took was a simple conversation and some exchange of good humor. Personally, I love comedy, so that's just my way of making people laugh, and it's usually my go-to when I'm trying to put out positive energy with people. However, there's plenty of other ways to do this, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over this concept of being the light in someone's day, why this is important to consider for yourself, and I'm going to give you a few ways that we can all start brightening each other's days. So, to begin with, what is being the light in someone's day? I kind of just explained it to you in that example, but pretty much this is just my new perspective on handling my interactions. I used to be a lot less outgoing, and I never really felt good when I was out and about by myself. I was just kind of in my own world, in my thoughts. But once I started being more open and outgoing, I noticed how powerful a genuine positive interaction really was. As I had more of them, I was really starting to actually enjoy talking to people, which was brand new to me. So I figured out that if I'm going to be more outgoing, why not see if I can try and like share some joy and kindness with other people and see if I can improve their day just a little bit. And that's how I came up with this idea, as I mentioned before. And this can be done in many ways. I'm going to explain some of those ways in a bit. But the most important thing is to begin viewing your interactions as opportunities for you to make someone else just feel great. And I'm sure we can all remember a time where we were stuck in a bad mood, and then suddenly we have an interaction with somebody that's so joyful or so energetic that it just snaps us right out of the slump. And imagine if we could do that for everyone. We all did that for each other. I invite you to consider this perspective the next time that you interact with someone. So now, why should we bother? Sure, it's obvious that entering interactions with this new perspective, it's beneficial on the surface, right? We make each other smile, we feel good. But what's the bigger picture? Why should one really consider doing this? There's actually physical and mental health benefits. Research indicates that acts of kindness can boost levels of oxytocin, often called the love hormone, which helps to form social bonds, reduce blood pressure, and increase feelings of trust and generosity. Additionally, kindness can release dopamine, which creates a helper's high, and serotonin, which helps regulate mood. So not only are you brightening the other person's day and your own, but you're getting the dopamine and oxytocin just for being nice to other people. You're both getting those really good things we like to feel. Easy W, why not do it? Acts of kindness can also enhance feelings of social connectivity, which can mitigate loneliness and improve relationships. This improved connectivity can foster a sense of community and support, which is essential for overall mental health. Human beings are meant to be in communities. Now we're in cities these days and we just feel so detached from each other. But if you think about where we came from, we used to be super tight knit and we really did rely on each other. Now we have other things that kind of negate that, but at our core as human beings, community is still very, very important. Another thing we can talk about for why you should do this is the long-term benefits. So, while the immediate biochemical boost from a single act of kindness is short-lived, repeated acts can cultivate a lasting sense of well-being and community. Kindness as a regular practice can help build better communities and more resilient individuals, both physically and mentally. We live in such big groups of people today. Like I was saying, people can start to feel a bit maybe like obstacles, right? You're stuck in traffic, there's too many people in the line at the store, you got stuff you got to do, and there's a lot of people in your way. But imagine if everyone just tried to brighten each other's day. How much better could our communities be then? Because we're going to be in this traffic anyways. Let somebody in, give them a smile, you know? You can't say anything to them, really. I mean, unless your windows are both down, but just do something nice. And I mean, anytime somebody does that for me in the city, I'm like, oh my God, this person's a saint, and I feel so good because I could have just been stuck in traffic for like an extra 5 minutes if nobody's gonna let me out, right? Um, Social media and the news, it tries to make it seem like we're more divided than ever. You know, negativity bias, negativity sells, and I'm gonna argue against that. At the end of the day, the majority of people want the same things. They want to be free, secure, and happy. So let's start adding in some kindness and joy and just help each other get to where we want to be. Now we know what my concept is and why it's important, but let's talk about how we can be the light in someone's day. There's plenty of ways to positively impact someone's day. It's definitely not just limited to my list here, but the important thing is that you do it any way you see fit. I got a few suggestions to start having you be the light in someone's day today. Start off with, let's talk about the power of compliment. In the words of the great Dale Carnegie, be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise, and people will cherish your words and treasure them and repeat them over a lifetime. Repeat them years after you have forgotten them. A simple compliment goes a long way. I feel great when I get them. You feel great when you get them. Hopefully, when I get them, you'd feel happy for me. I wish for that, but I still remember many compliments I have received across my lifetime. Considering how great they make us feel when receiving them, why not try giving one today? It can be the simplest of things like complimenting their nails or the t-shirt. Just give it a try. I challenge you to go out and give one compliment today. Just see how it goes. I bet you feel great and you really make the other person's day. So now let's talk about the power of kindness and a smile for brightening other people's day. Have you ever faked a smile to feel better? If you haven't, I highly recommend trying it next time you're stuck in a bad mood and you just can't get out of it. The physical action of smiling, it triggers the hormones that's associated with it, like the serotonin and the dopamine. And just from the action of smiling, even if nothing actually made you want to smile, when you break down our, bodily mechanisms and stuff were really, really simple. And this works similarly when interacting with others. It's actually known as emotional contagion. Emotional contagion is the process by which one person's emotion and related behaviors directly trigger similar emotion and behaviors in other people. For example, seeing someone smile can make you smile, and witnessing someone else's happiness can enhance your own mood. This is because humans tend to mimic the facial expressions, vocal tones, and postures of those around them, which can lead to experiencing similar emotions. So maybe someone's feeling down, maybe they're having a really bad day, right? Next thing you know, you show up, you're smiling them, you got this great, positive, kind energy, and they just can't help but pick up on this and reciprocate it back. Next thing they know, they just went from feeling awful to maybe even forgetting about it and feeling great just because you were there, you were genuine, you were nice, you alleviated somebody of their worries. And it was just you being you, and you felt good in the process. I think you can truly impact others, and I hope you consider doing it more often. The last thing we're going to talk about for brightening someone's day is going to be the power of comedy, my personal favorite. Comedy has got me through some of the worst times of my life. I owe many thanks to people like Theo Vaughn, Cat Williams, Shane Gillis. I could go on, probably name like 50 comedians minimum, but the power of laughter simply makes us feel better. Why though? According to verywellmind.com, laughter and humor can reduce physical pain, reduce stress, and bring people together. That's a lot of benefits from just telling a joke, right? I understand some people might not be natural comedians. I'm not either. I find a lot of messed up things funny, and some of it's off putting to some people. So sometimes it takes a little bit of trial and error. I've told some bad jokes, gotten some bad responses. That's kind of the process you got to go through of finding your humor, right? So just do some trial and error. Don't say anything crazy, like have a filter, but just find basic banter or remarks that are commonly funny. Go watch a comedy special or even just someone who speaks with a good sense of humor, like Robert Downey Jr., right? Maybe you can pick up some things for them and try them out yourself. Considering that you can literally reduce someone's physical pain without needing 12 years of medical school to be a doctor, I think it's worth a shot. So to conclude today's topic of being the light in someone's day, I think it's really, really important for us all to start embracing this. Imagine how much better the world could be if we were all just kinder and thought, how can I make this person I'm interacting with feel better, right? Imagine if everyone approached every interaction like that. Today I told you what this concept is, why it's important, and also a few ways you can start doing it yourself. I hope you're considering some ways you can start spreading light and positivity into other people's lives. I hope I've inspired you and provided you with some good ways to do that today. As always, I appreciate you popping in and checking out the video. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Let me know how you're feeling about this stuff in the comments. I love hearing from y'all. Anyways, y'all take care, and I'll see you in the next one.